Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This stunning gentleman on a Friday right over here. This is Tim, and this is The Second Legacy, and thank you for stopping by. Today, we have got a goofy gun grabbers. Tim went on the internet stroll again, and what he found is always solid gold. So, guys, make sure if you are enjoying this content from a channel dedicated to 2A with some amazing content, awesome analysis, humor, and a lot of delicious sarcasm, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. And with that, Tim, you went on the internet again, and whenever you do it, great things happen. So take the wheel, sir.
I would like to say that I have to really work for this, but I don't. It's relatively easy because these morons just flood my feed with stupidity. So it's just a matter of picking and choosing which ones would be the most fun to make fun of. And so this is a new one for me. I think I've seen some of her posts in the past, but this one jumped to my feed this morning and it caught my attention. This one's from Snark Queen Bee, #1 doc, if you'd be so kind. Folks, listen. This country will eventually prioritize dead kids over some beep written on a piece of paper by men who have been dead for 2 centuries. It's not a matter of if, but when. The longer you piss, moan, and fight it, the more restrictions you're going to face. Threats. We banned lawn darts because one kid died, and we all know it's all about saving just one life. Forget the 800,000 they slaughter every year. Anyway, so settle. Other than that, settle down. Come to the table and be reasonable, or you're going to be living in a country with gun laws like Japan. Again, more threats. This is America, you stupid dumb beep. Right? Woo, this woman's salty, right? You know.
Man.
Be reasonable, or we're gonna crush you. We're gonna step on your throat. Okay, and we will not continue to be the leader in the world for gun violence and death by mass shooters because you paranoid morons want to hang on to your rights to shoot pyramids of woke beer in your backyard. Well, wow, boy, that's a lot.
Let me crack my knuckles before we open this can of stupid.
I mean, there's so much to unpack there. But I like the reference to lawn darts. I loved lawn darts.
Nah, you would. They were banned when I was born.
See, these people take away all the fun. There was one person died in a nation of 350 million people. One person died from a lawn dart, and they want to take away lawn darts because the rest of us couldn't responsibly handle them, they thought. Oh, lawn darts. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the whole thing of banning lawn darts. I don't see good things on lawn. I think that's stupid.
Well, there was an 11th Amendment to the Constitution that got left out, I think by accident, that said the right of the people to keep and bear lawn darts shall not be infringed, but I think it got deleted.
Didn't make the final
didn't make the final cut, yeah. But I had a response. Let's go ahead and throw up #2, Doc. This is my response to the old snarky Queen Bee there. I said, you know what? This is America, and we're a constitutional republic. Perhaps you dropped out of school before you took American civics, but in a republic, a simple majority isn't enough to undo the constitutionally protected rights of others. If you wanted to shred the Second Amendment, you'll need 2/3 vote of both houses of Congress or 2/3 of the states to request one by a convention called for that purpose. In other words, you don't have the support to do squat to the 2A. Now, off to the liquor store to buy more beer for my pyramid. So, just I mean, she claims to be snarky, and so I wanted to be a little snarky too. What are your thoughts? I mean, where do you start with this? I mean, there's just so much gold in there.
Well, per usual, I start at the top and work my way down. So, there's a lot of jokes that could have been said on that one in the comments. So as we keep rolling here, let's see. Some stuff written on a piece of paper by men who've been dead for 2 centuries. That screams to me immediately, Tim. It does, because for some reason, a lot of other things that this person probably holds pretty dear, like freedom of speech, was also written on that same piece of paper by dead guys 200 years ago.
Because 200 years makes a difference between, whether something is a right or a not. You have a right to life. Well, that was 200 years ago. Now let me shoot you in the back of the head and put you in the ditch.
Now it's all about medical.
Mousy song, right? So, this whole concept that the left always likes to glob onto, these men that have been dead for 2 centuries, or the men in white powdered wigs, or the white old men, all these digs against the founders. But I think everybody globally, even people that hate freedom, would take a look at that Constitution and the Bill of Rights and go, that was pretty well done, right? They put a lot of thought into that.
But of course they did. And that's why we fight it, and that's why they haven't destroyed it yet, because they put so much thought, and they knew that tyranny-inclined peoples are going to come along. So because they've been around then and they've been around now. Only then there was a lot more kings killing people. But anyway, other than that little nougat, this one smacks of posturing to me. That's my immediate gut reaction is posturing. It's not a matter of if but when, really. Really, not a matter of if but when. So that means you're 100% guaranteed to win, and the rest of the population who believes in their God-given rights, who have all the guns, are just going to go, "You're right."
Yeah, go read the comments.
Nah.
They're pretty much gold. I don't want to do a comment review, but go read the comments on this post because they're kind of, they address what you're talking about and much more. Yes.
Well, it dives into something, and the reason that I love these segments, especially when they start going on a longer segment like this, like the little snarky one-line comments, those are fun to refute. But this one, it goes through, if you just look at the psychology of it, first of all, it was mocking the idea that you have rights from old dead people. Then it came into, it's going to happen, stop resisting it. Then it jumped straight into, the longer you fight it, the worse I'm going to make it.
Do as I say or else.
And then, exactly. And then it says, come to the table and be reasonable or you're going to lose even more gun laws. So again, another followed by another.
You be reasonable. I'm not going to be.
An insult.
Go ahead.
Correct. And then an insult. No, and then an insult. And so all of these things are all things that you do when you do not have the constitutional authority and the constitutional protections and the constitutional oomph to get what you get done. So you're becoming a demagogue on Twitter, which is a faceless space, and you're a big bad snark queen. But
I agree.
Really, at the end of the day, all this is posturing, which factors into one of the things that we're about to talk about. And the entire thing is a big joke. The left is using these things as emotional fodder to get their left rallied up. But we're about to go into one which is going to kind of bust the bubble of this entire "I'm woman, hear me roar." You want to go to the next one? Because I'm excited.
Let's move on to the next one. All right. So this is from our friend Davey Hogg. And again,
I love a good Davey Hogg.
If you just want, something to laugh at every morning, just jump on his feed because the man just spews stupidity. And he didn't let us down today. And so,
but no, hold on 1 second. He also at some point puts out amazingly based things, like when he comes down off of whatever he's on, and then he goes right back. It is the most bizarre thing.
Yeah. Well,
the ratio is like 100 to 1, but when he hits his one, it's like, what?
Yeah. So here's Davey smoking on the pipe of reality, I think. And so here he has something to say about majorities in Congress and all that good stuff and his push to take your rights away. Just so you all know, even if Dems get 60 votes in the Senate and the majority in the House, they aren't going to pass an assault weapons ban. Oh no, Davey's crying. He's just stomping his feet, Braden, because he just doesn't feel he's going to get his way. Anyone who says they will, either say they will either doesn't know what they're talking about or is lying. They'll raise tens of millions saying they will ban assault weapons, but they won't, because the second they get those 60 votes, they'll say the policy is too risky to pass to help preserve their majority. To actually get action, we'd need to abolish the filibuster. There he goes again. They always want to get rid of it when they think it's going to benefit them, but they want it right back the minute they lose the majority. Get rid of the filibuster and build a massive PAC and super PAC of 100 million to help get a majority and primary any Dem who is not good on guns. Ooh.
There's so much here. I'm so excited. Can I go into it?
Have at him.
Davey here seems to have been watching my channel and our channel, because we've been screaming from the rooftops that it was all a big game to manipulate the constituencies on the left to get more money and more power for the Democrats at the currency of trading in your rights for it. Davey just goes on his Twitter feed, which is a gun control based Twitter feed, and says, even if you overcome the 60 votes required to get over the filibuster, they're not going to ban assault weapons. Well, wait a minute. Tim, what? How? Is that insinuating that it's unconstitutional and they would never get away with it?
I mean, basically what he's saying here is the representatives, once they get into office, will realize all the promises they made are in gross violation of the Constitution and would probably upset the base that voted them in, because he goes on to say that they won't do it because they're worried about preserving their majority. Well, if you're doing the right thing, why are you worried about preserving your majority? By doing the right thing, it should preserve your majority. But by doing the wrong thing, banning guns, he just admitted that that's the unpopular thing, and they'll lose support and they'll lose the majority if they do the wrong thing. Boy, he really stepped in it here. And then if you go to the thread, which I absolutely tell you guys, go check out the thread in the comments because he immediately starts backpedaling. You can see a bit of that here on this screenshot. He goes, to be clear, it's still important we work to secure majorities. I mean, he immediately starts backpedaling. And I'm sure it'll wind up being deleted because most of these posts do.
But that's why we have this, because now it's on the internet forever.
Forever, Davey.
Hashtag second legacy,
That's
baby.
right.
But dude, the thing about this is not only does he come out and bust the bubble of the charade of the gun controlling left, but he also comes out and openly says that everything that the Democrats are promising is a lie.
Right?
They literally are saying, if we can just get over that filibuster threshold, give the Dems power, we'll enshrine abortion, we'll ban assault weapons, we'll open the border forever. They literally just said, even if you get 60 votes, they ain't going to do anything because they're just about money and maintaining their own power base. No, Davey, you need to stop sneak watching Second Legacy, bro.
Oh, man. He's something. He'll have these moments of lucidity, but then he immediately, then the other half of the brain kicks in, like, oh no, we got to backpedal, and then he just about breaks his arms.
You know, he got smoked on that one. Someone called him and said, "What the hell was that?" You know it.
Oh, I think he can just follow his own posts and look at the comments, and he realized, oops. But instead of deleting it, he quadruples down and just keeps posting retraction after retraction and clarification after clarification.
Well, that's part of the arrogance of the left, right? I'm right no matter what you say. But understand what he was trying to do. If I may venture into the head, of Davey Hogg, you got to pull me out if I get lost. Okay, it's a quagmire in there. But what he was trying to accomplish here, he's trying to say that because this is a big threat, and even if we do this, it's all for nothing unless we get rid of the filibuster and we do $100 million super PAC. So those two things, what he's trying to do is make a boogeyman and then offer a solution. But in the boogeyman, it undermines the entire point of the second solution.
Yeah.
It is, dude, it's so bad. This is why we'll win.
I'm sure he doesn't want to be the head of this $100 million super PAC or anything. There's no profit in that.
He went to Harvard.
Oh, this guy has been profiting off the bodies of his classmates since it happened. I mean, God, he's just a disgusting creature of a person. And
it's a career.
And we could go to number 4, Doc, because this is all coming from the same day. Okay, so something happened in Davey's life that kind of shook him into reality for a moment. It scared him. He made a bunch of really nasty posts on X, and now he's trying to retract everything. But number 4, Doc, here we go. Davey Hogg, continuing in that vein about politicians.
A lot of bleeps on this one.
I'll have to be careful on this one. So, an only good politician is a scared one. Now, when I read this first sentence, folks, I thought, I thought, oh my gosh, he finally gets it. Right? He understands, at least in part, the purpose of the Second Amendment to put the power of government in the hands of the people. Right? So I thought maybe he was having another moment of lucidity here, but no. By sentence 2, he falls right back into stupidity. They will tell you everything you want to hear, but won't do a single effing thing unless you basically make them feel forced to electorally. I don't give a bleep.
Which is also true, though.
True. I don't give a bleep what you say. I care what you do. Broken promises don't save lives. And here he is railing against Democrat, gun grabbers that will tell you, oh, I'm going to go ban this, I'm going to ban that and ban this. Then he claims once they get into office, they won't do anything because it's politically not popular and they don't want to lose their power base. And so they won't do anything. So that in itself is a conflicting statement. Because if you can lie to people saying, elect me because I want to ban everything, and you get into power, doesn't that tell you that your base puts you into power based on these lies? Then why would you suddenly flip the script once you get in and say, well, I'm not going to do that because it's an election year, or I don't want to lose power? So where's the truth in that, right? Because he's claiming he's playing both sides of the fence here. But anyway, your thoughts on old Davey's comments?
No, that's it. No, I think you nailed it. I think he has these moments, and I mentioned it in the intro, he has these moments of lucidity where he just reaches a point where I think, to me, it's a very childish reaction.
Oh, extremely.
He gets to a point in his time where he's observing something. He's so frustrated that all the rhetoric that he's been fed and that he feeds others turns out to be a complete manipulation and lie. And he gets so pent up about it, because he can't have his way, that he reaches out and lashes out on Twitter, which is his only outlet. He doesn't have a YouTube channel. He doesn't have any impact outside of that Twitter feed. And so he just reaches directly out into that. And that's the point. He's built this, well, that's the best way I can say this. He's built this career and this persona around being the disgruntled teenager and smirking and being smug on camera and really frowning like he's really upset. But the problem is he's aging out of that
Yeah, he's in
persona
his 30s now,
because
isn't he?
now he's in his
Yeah,
mid 20s
yeah,
to 30s. You can't be. It's kind of like a weird version of Beto O'Rourke, because Beto O'Rourke consistently is trying to be the teenager who is skateboarding around, played in a punk metal band. He has a cool name like Beto, but at the end of the day, he's not serious. No one likes him. Davey Hogg is the exact same thing, only even more childish, because he just looks like he's kind of not refined because he's a child, or he's an adult trying to play a child's
right.
game, and it's
Well, I
very
think he's an
weird
adult with a child's
to me.
mind. But I mean, watching this guy flip flop is epic because it is a true window into manic behavior, right? So the guy will say, "Hey, fellow gun folks, I'm on the Harvard Shotgun Sporting Clays team, and all we need is some reasonable restrictions. We don't want to ban everything. I'm a gun owner too." And then the next post a couple of days later is like, "F you NRA, F you gun owners, F everybody," because something happened in the news cycle that triggered his little tiny
Right.
breakdown. And so the guy is
Yeah.
literally a mental midget. He only got into Harvard, I think, because of what happened to him. He is definitely a DEI hire
subjective.
through Harvard. Not that they're some great institution anymore. They're truly not. But this just goes into them bringing in people for political reasons and then handing out diplomas because there's no way. I mean, this guy clearly, my 15-year-old son's more educated than he is, and he's been nowhere near Harvard.
If he could bring in a job that pays for his experience in his career, he would. And that's
he's just going to grift off
the bottom line
for the rest of his
right
life.
But the bottom line is, if you could offer something to the free market where you were making a significant amount of money utilizing your Harvard degree, then he would already have
and
it.
he doesn't.
But he doesn't have it because he has no real world experience. I mean, and we're talking about something totally different now, but he's going to stay in this grift. He's going to end up being the 35, 40-year-old disgruntled teenager who just gets up and looks angry on camera. And eventually the media is going to be like, no, this is weird, bruh. And he's going to have nothing left.
Well, so there you have it, folks. Davey thinks that all we have to do is force the politicians to do what's right, and they'll do what's right. Maybe, or maybe that's not what he's saying. Who knows what Davey's saying? I don't even think Davey knows what he's saying. So anyway, folks, if you see anything else out there that Davey Hogg or other people say that might be make for a good segment here on Second Legacy for Goofy Gun Grabbers, comment down below because we'd love to hear what you have to say. And who knows, maybe we'll get some more content for a future episode. Thank you for watching Second Legacy, and we'll talk to you guys soon.